Look at his face as he sees a mockingbird play down.
Could be enough, but that werewolf comes over.
That is
an
awesome play from Dosmet. And now he's definitely thinking what his hat says. Why me? Why me in a blob at Kamartaj, right? She's stunned. Huge. Hazmat taking the middle and the left side and tying the right. Like an absolute brutal welcome to Marvel Snap. No way! Two card game Goliaths going head to head here. Oh my gosh, we made it. We're here. Hello, Alex. We're good to go. Oh, hello to you as well. And welcome to the next Marvel Snap Conquers Deadpool Domination. Alex, we have made it.
Yes, we could not be more excited to be bringing you guys Deadpool's Domination here today. It's going to be an absolutely remarkable event, and I could not be happier to be sharing it with my co-host of the Snapchat, Cozy Snap.
For today's event, if you guys don't know, it is going to be a 2-hour event with 14 of the Deadpooliest content creators. Now, this is going to be a solo competition that cannot rely on teams.
Yeah, so the first person to get the most bobs within 2 hours will be crowned the winner. It's a solo competition. If they bust out, they only have a couple buy-ins in order to get back into the game.
We're going to go ahead and introduce these awesome, talented individuals. Today, we've got ourselves all the way from Italy, Atrix. We have Chris, who said he saw the movie last night. It's going to give him an edge on the competition. Welcome in Chris, a newer Snap player, but he plays a little bit. Dan's Gaming, the variety streamer himself. He's an OG coming back from the Justin TV days. Even has a Twitch emote himself. We have Dasmeti, who is giving me Gambit for every single Marvel answer that I asked him. He loves Gambit, X-Men 97, and if you guys know Lyric, it's his brother. And then there's Dexter, who's most known that his best friend is Cozy. Thank you, Dexter. And he's a Cerebro Airshim lover, but now he hates Airshim. Which one is it, Dexter? Dara, the Pumper. His favorite card in the game is Dr. Octopus. His least favorite card, most hated, is Dr. Octopus. And then, for those that don't know, Disguised Toast. If you don't know him, 4 million YouTube subs. He is an absolute card gamer coming from the roots of it. He's done a space assassin game. A lot of history here with Disguised Toast. Excited to have him to today's event.
And there's even more fantastic participants here today, including Fan, a fantastic variety streamer, Jeff Hoagland, who needs no introduction for a talented deck building, and of course, one of the most competitive card gamers on the planet. We also have KM Best, one of the highest MMR players in Marvel Snaps beta, Nina, recent dog mom to one of the cutest doggies in the world, Milo. We also have Pawnee. We have Regis, one of the nicest card gamers on the planet, and of course, Sacriel, a variety streamer focused on educational content. It actually makes me really excited to see people bringing like new different types of decks. There was an entire possibility that 12 people would have brought 12 Airshim decks, but here we are with an Ajax Hazmat deck. I can't wait to see what Dexter's able to do with it. So like this is right off the top here, a mano competitor match here where these bobs, I mean, if you think about it, this is like a divisional match in some sort of, a sporting event here. Dexter's got to get the dub, I'm sure.
One thing I want to make note of here is, if you guys can already see, we have 1 million bubs on the line. Keep in mind, they have 12 to go with. We're starting off pretty hot here, but brilliant play there with the Juggernaut to secure Asgard.
It's, Juggernaut's one of those surprise cards that I think a lot of people forget about.
So we're seeing Pawnee here separate both Thena and Angela. We can see a look at her hand. She's got Sage, Darkhawk, and Mystique here. With a turn 7, that's a ridiculous hand that Pawnee has. This is actually going to be pretty tough for Dexter to win with what he has in his hand. The Hazmat being the biggest play because Pawnee's starting to put a lot of cards on the board. This is going to be tricky, and it's kind of anybody's game here because Cassandra Nova, the only reason she wasn't really played early was we had that Juggernaut play with Asgard. Here goes the Ajax boosting up. We've got the Mobius. She plays Cassandra into Kitty, into Sage, and look at all that individual power getting Sage to at least be a 3/6.
Yeah, if you're Dexter here, do you think about retreating? He's got a handful of rocks. I mean, if you're Ben Bro, you snap here. I mean, that's a famous take there. And hey, listen, I've seen it. I've seen a handful of rocks snap be very successful. It's well documented. But I think Dexter might be in trouble. I think he's going to think about going hard right here.
Dexter's going for the old try to win all 3 locations at once approach.
I'm not sure what the ordering on his cards were, but he might even consider intentionally hitting his own cards with Hazmat based on the order of his play to make Ajax go higher. But he has to ensure he's winning at least 2 of those locations. The Iron Man's going to get hit very hard with Hazmat. It looks like he's going to do a good job of flipping this.
Massive play here as he pushes down a huge Hazmat, taking the middle and the left side and tying the right, but the middle is claimed back from Thena, but Dexter still with that power difference is going to claim the W. This is a absolute, and not like there's much at stake, only 5 million bubs so far. Like an absolute brutal welcome to Marvel Snapper. Welcome back since beta, friend. We've missed you. Now, the Green Goblin, funny enough, I mean, it's a 1-point loss because it's helping him fill the cards there on the left side. But he's going to have to really come up with something to win here. Look at his face as he sees a Mockingbird play down. And this is what's so brutal is that, you know, Timothy has just awful cards being a bot, and they got access to all of Toast's cards via Weird World, right? So White Widow and Mobius and Mockingbird. You can tell, I'm actually impressed with the deck build put together here by Disguise. We can see some of these more powerful cards probably put into his deck. He does go the Khazar route. I think this is the way to go. Will Timothy, the ultimate bot, be able to beat him?
Yeah, it adds quite a bit of power mid as well. So you're adding 3 additional power there. So if Timothy goes for the epic play mid, maybe, just maybe, Disguised Toast is able to gap that. But it's also a risk because if he goes right, then Arishem would have been the stronger play. So let's actually see. It's the left play, the classic onslaught into lizard gameplay. I mean, there's no way you could have predicted that. And it's so funny to see, like, he's got a big smile on his face. He's having an absolute blast here. And that's a Cassandra Nova coming down here. Absolutely soul-crushing at 19 power.
And this is actually Disguised Toast versus KM Best. For those that don't know, Treaser Joe is KM Best. We have creator versus creator. Can a man who's been playing since the beta defeat a man that is back playing for the first time, I would guess, in a little bit? And look at this absolute hand for Toast here. He's got Mockingbird, Blob, Black Bolt, and Thing. Very interesting play lines all together, and this is a crazy matchup here.
And this is what makes Cassandra Nova so punishing. Blob can, you know, mitigate the effect of Darkhawk, but it's not going to do anything that Cassandra Nova. Cassandra's Nova's damage has already been done, and Blob's going to eat more cards now. It's going to get less power, and it's not going to impact Cassandra Nova at all. And here's the bounce from Werewolf, and we got a little more space, and it looks like
the Black Bolt. Love the Black Bolt with KM's deck because that hazmat play right there.
Yeah, right there. That was huge.
Huge discard, right? So now we're on turn 6 or 5, I believe. And this is where I would probably go with the safe Blob play. Mockingbird's down to 2 after that. And then most likely, I think Blob was from there. Ajax in hand with Hood, but hazmat is gone. Toast has every chance here to secure a W. I think this is a no-brainer Blob play. You know, you don't know what your opponent has, so you might want to not give them priority. He's retreating. He's being safe, and I think that he had himself a phenomenal chance to win this. Just an amazing thing to look at here is the hat on Nina is Noob, who is currently in 2nd place, playing for big time bubs. We've got ourselves another Kitty Pryde. We're seeing a lot of these, Alex.
Yeah, we're also seeing a lot of Colossus avatars. But my main question is Nina wearing... Is that Jeff?
That is Jeff. That would be Jeff, the baby land shark.
I mean, how can you not love Jeff? I mean, literally, I didn't care when Jeff was first released. It could have been the worst card in the game. I was getting it. I was getting all the splits. I was getting all the variants. Look how damn cute he is. It's worth noting that Dara, currently in 2nd place to Nina is Noob, 3rd being Jeff Hoagland, as we kind of do a quick update there to the leaderboard. And Dara's going with the turn 3. This is actually a turn 2.
Turn 2.
Sorry, turn 2 Cassandra Nova.
Utopia being one of those locations to give you some energy cheating. Couldn't be better for a card like Cassandra Nova, by the way. Absolutely insane. Tarnix 4, one of my personal favorite locations. I've got to say it. I absolutely love the random chaos. Mysterio being a perfect card to play both in the bar with No Name and Tarnix. Here's the flip for the random upgrading cost. We're going to be going to, or not upgrade, it's the same cost. So the 2 goes into, hold on here. An invisible woman. My gosh, that's going to create some pandemonium.
It'd be interesting to think, like, Invisible Woman, what would you play there? What would you play there? I mean, you could think about Mockingbird, but like, no, I don't think you'd play Mockingbird there. That 310 is way too valuable. It's so tricky, so unbelievably tricky here. And even Juggernaut is a game winner, because if you Juggernaut something in a bar with No Name, it's an easy dub.
Yeah, I do like the Mockingbird in the middle here play, and then I'd probably go with the Juggernaut in the middle, and then just start slamming cards, man, right side behind that Invisible Woman at that point.
Yeah, what I think you do is you play Engine Athena into the right side here. Turn 6, you're going to go Juggernaut, and you're because they're going to fill probably right, I'm sure, because they're feeling like they can only play 2 locations. They're going to know that Mysterio is going to be the clone into the bar with No Name. They're not going to be anticipating the Juggernaut, and this is an amazing opportunity for Dara to steal these bubs. right? And this is where this mode is just remarkable, because what you get is this opportunity to catch a player by surprise with something like a Juggernaut, which there's no way they're accounting for, and absolutely tear those bubs from their hands.
And we've got a Hulkbuster going to merge. This is actually going to be interesting because this is not, in fact, going to probably change this card, right? Or will it? It does, actually. My bad. And opposed to the Juggernaut, he's going to go with an Iron Man instead.
This is interesting. I think that if they had not played a card like Hulkbuster, which merges that lane, like if Tarnax was blocked off, then the Juggernaut play is an absolute win, right? It's an absolute straightforward win. I can see the Iron Man play here. I can see why he's going for it. It is a massive difference in power, and I'm sure he's trying to just kind of outpace them for the tiebreaker.
Sometimes when there's something like a Sanctum Sanctorum and you can't play into there, it's just how big can you get your location, just beat out the power difference of the one other location that they have. Clearly here we're going to see probably Dara be fine here, and wow, what a top roll of a 2 going from an Angela to a Maximus. Dara getting 200 million bubs.
Yeah, I love this play from Dan's Gaming as well. Definitely take out that claw. That's 8 power kind of coming off of the right there. It looks like what they're going to do is send that Silk either to the mid or the left. Could win either one, but this Enchantress is going to be detrimental to the game strategy here of our Colossus Avatar Gamer. And it is going to be a Silk mid, but it has a chance to go left or right here. We'll have to see where it goes. It goes left to technically challenge 3 different locations. White Queen's not going to do it on the right. Comes mid, wins that location, and it is the turn 6 Watu bounce, and it's unfortunate that an absolute scam on the Watu play there to knock the Silk out of the winning position. That is so heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh, I am making a video right now with Watu on the thumbnail, and I love this, by the way, upgrading as he goes. But we're going to go to the next game as we head back into Toast. Let's see, we've left Toast when it wasn't exactly going fantastic, right? But we have the Hitmonkey Nova, but does have that build of Blob Mockingbird. What are you seeing here, Alex?
I'm looking at a hand, and he's like, I'm snapping. I'm like, man, you snapping on this? The confidence, the absolute confidence in the tempo Hitmonkeys here.
I'm going to be honest. Anytime I personally have Shang-Chi and then one of my other win conditions, I typically snap, right? Like, because you can feel good to throw priority, build up that block by double. Now we have Dexter versus Toast. Wait a second. It's the same match. It's Dexter and Toast. That's who Dean, these names, we're picking up with it. This is Dexter and Toast, and Dexter's probably also trying to figure out what strategy we have going on here. Darkhawk in the middle, double boost by Gwenpool, which is a massive swing. Look at that 14 power Mockingbird. Oh my gosh.
This Mysterio is going to, it's just everything is so good, and it's unfortunate for Disguised Toast that this Darkhawk is going to get punched right out here.
Massive play here. You're getting not only the Shang-Chi to counter the Darkhawk, but you're also getting the Mysterio to discount your, 14 power Giganto Mockingbird down, right? So this is a huge play now where he's going to be able to play Kitty, Nocturne, and that Mockingbird. He's going to have a couple other plays that he can figure out here with an Angela. Flee while you can, but look at Toast's hand. He has Mockingbird himself. He has Shang-Chi as well. This is interesting that he didn't go Devil. He goes with a giant blob, and Dexter used that Shang-Chi already, right? We've already seen the Shang-Chi. So it's looking like for sure Toast can win left side. Dexter just said I can lose to this. And now he's definitely thinking what his hat says. Why me? Why me in a blob at Kamar Taj, right? This is going to be kind of interesting because we know it. He doesn't. That Mysterio's in the middle. You got to go for that monster Metropolis if you're Toast. What are you playing with here? There's a couple play lines. He's obviously shipping middle would be huge. That 17 power Mockingbird. If he goes Shang-Chi on monster Metropolis, he wins. There's several ways that Toast can win this right now, but we've seen Toast retreat. Will he do it again?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Having initiative for Toast makes Shang-Chi more challenging, but I think that if he commits aggressively to one or the other, instead of trying to play both, there's a chance he can win. Because right now, that 14 power Mockingbird on Monster Metropolis is pretty massive.
This the Shang-Chi? Is this the... It won't matter because the priorities, it's the 14, 13. Dexter knows he's good to go with the 14 and the 15. One by... more than one with the Mysterio, actually, so he's looking pretty good there. 2 card game Goliath going head-to-head here. And we've got ourselves a Creator v Creator matchup. They're rare right now, and here's one, so let's enjoy it while we can. We've got the Hope Summer Shang-Chi, Jeff and Kitty Pryde versus what is a Darkhawk deck. But let's go to focus on turn 3 as the Hope Summer Summers goes down on Wakanda?
I'm going to expect him to probably, send that Hope Summers skyward as he sends the Kitty Pryde and gets that extra energy. It's going to be interesting how he can utilize that rock in Nadalvalier, because I think that it's one of those low-key, flex plays to throw a rock in there, generate the power. I'm actually really surprised to see. At first I thought maybe that Zabu came from something random, but that Zabu appears to be actually part of his deck.
We have Ponipon's view of this matchup versus Chris here, and Limbo being the location, extending the game. We don't have a Nocturne on the board. Cassandra's out. With Iron Man, I'm loving the Ravona Cassandra decks, because you can have Cassandra hold her own lane, and then Iron Man kind of do the rest, right? Iron Man is a huge play into Nidavellir, so I would potentially look at doing that opposed to the Wakanda play. What would you do here?
See, I'm of the thought that, like, you definitely want to put either Mystique or Iron Man into Nadalvalier, but the manner by which you do that, right? If you play Iron Man right, I wonder if you're actually choreographing that you have the Mystique in hand, but maybe we're just overthinking it. But I do recognize that having that Darkhawk under Wakanda does protect it from anything other than like a rogue or an enchantress. They can't Shang-Chi it, so generating that's 36 power is huge. We'll have to see how this plays out, but that Mystique mid is going to be incredible. Even with, honestly, this Shang-Chi does not do as much as you would think, because that Mystique is still massive mid.
But here we go. The Mystique to Kitty to Sage, a lot of unique power here. We have 2 5s, but other than that, looking clean.
Yeah, so it looks like they made a good read on going mid here, because they are committing very heavily to that middle location. Pawnee should be able to flip it. That Mystique is going to do incredible amounts of damage. And as you can see, had she just played Mystique by itself, it would have just been under by about 3 power. And so the Kitty Pryde and, of course, the savagely overkill Sage does secure the victory here for Pawnee and those 14.5 million bucks.
He did get the Ajax, which is nice, because he can definitely play into that with that ongoing ability. He's going to obviously try to trigger this werewolf as much as possible. He's got a lot of options. This is an actual extraordinary amount of different play lines that KM can go with.
Yeah, it's literally insane, and it makes it so difficult, because with 5 energy especially, like to play, because the Hazmat, I mean, he does not have initiative, so Lifeguard here is going to get hit pretty excessively. Never seen the bear before. There's going to be a pretty big hit here on this Hazmat, which is going to be beneficial to KM Best. And look at that board state just kind of drop down and fizzle. That's one of the beautiful things about Hazmat there, as that werewolf continues to bounce. And so this is a pretty dominating position for KM. And note that Cassandra Nova is the copied one, which has significant strength, but he's going to be going with the mid Ajax and attacking 3 different locations.
Some players with Valentina will have a Luke Cage in their deck sometimes to mitigate that power loss, right? Obviously, we can see the hand there, and he does not have the Luke Cage to play as a counter. Would have been a massive swing if he could. But yeah, this is looking like a very tough battle to come back with when you have a Hawkeye to work with. And yeah, listen, Agent Coulson could do a lot, but not here.
I would expect them, as I think KM is realizing, they're going to give right. He throws his big power Ajax mid, and this should be enough. But that werewolf comes over.
That is awesome play from Das May. Absolute hype Magneto play. He can't believe it. And KM's asking himself, where the heck did he score this Magneto play? This is why Magneto is one of the best 6-cost cards in the game, as we repeat time after time on the Snapchat pod.
4 visions on the board. I mean, you can move them anywhere you want here. And vision into Bar Sinister is absolutely beautiful. Gwenpool's interesting here. It is the final turn of the game, so you're not going to get the benefit of Gwenpool, but you get some style points.
A lot of cool cards you can play off Bar Sinister, because you can go with like big cards like Infinite. You can go with the movement cards that capitalize on more abusing of that location, or the combo cards, the Silver Surfers, right? That it can be detrimental, or the power boosting cards like we're seeing here, Alex.
I absolutely love the fact that we just saw a Wolfsbane get dropped there, but it's not. I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Well, no, it is. Never mind. What are we talking about here? I think that she's going to get the win by 2 here. She's actually going to squeak out a win.
Yeah, 24 on her side. Yep, she's going to end up getting it by the 2. And also has obviously enough power that if there's a tiebreaker, it'd be no problem to get that middle power done. We have 204 million going over to Nina here, keeping that lead. We have a Red Hulk going left side, which is awesome because Alex, unless there's certain combinations played here, which he actually happens to have a lot of them, that Red Hulk's going to grow in power and make it even harder. But I've got to say, he has so many advantageous cards. Did you see what he did here? He's going to boost up the Ajax and then punch him right in the blue shield to take him down potentially is looking like the game plan right now.
Oh yeah, Francis is going to get punched right in the face here. Cam thinking his play out. I actually really liked his original line. It's so easy to think about, you just punch out that Red Hulk, but I do not think that that the Toast is expecting the Ajax to get destroyed here. So
we do have a Shang-Chi hunting their werewolf, and there's going to be a huge flip here from each side. This is actually crazy awesome gameplay.
Yeah,
I love that
awesome.
Game Best plays his best lines first, then he takes it back, thinks about it one more time, right? And look at that crazy flip of a play to win by 4 on the right side. I love that tremendous play by KM Best there. You know, one thing I don't think about often, and I should more, is when these season passes come, how they affect these starter decks, right? And so, for instance, like Gilgamesh was very interesting for new players because Zoo is popular. The cards that have come out this month have all been interesting. The last 2 months, actually, because there's been a lot of variety that you can do with them. Obviously, we had Copycat, we had Ajax. Recently, we had the Cassandra Nova, Gwenpool to kick things off. And then, of course, who could forget the man Hydra Bob, who, if you guys don't know, Hydra Bob went into Hydra because his wife pressured him to get a good dental plan. He goes all the way through the training course, and guess what? Sadly, Hydra does not offer dental. So sad day there for Hydra Bob.
it's looking pretty bright right now, and I love this Juggernaut playing to Rickety Bridge. Talk about a way to cleanly win that location.
Outside of, more than 3 cards being played there, it is a very safe way to ensure a victory, as we have Morph going into Chavez or Cerebro. Cerebro could be actually kind of interesting here.
It looks like it hits Cerebro, yeah.
Too much because it goes to Typhoid there. And then we have the Juggernaut winning just by 3. Another 100 million bubs going to Nina. Disguised Toast versus Regis. You love to see the 2 card gamers go head-to-head. And fun fact, they've gone head-to-head before in the past in past card games.
Yeah, it's honestly 2 goats, right? 2 goats of card gaming here. I'll be interested to see if if Toast wants to get rid of Danger Room. Like, Danger Room is kind of tilted. This is wild. He's thinking about throwing down the Green Goblin into Savage Line. If Jeff moves, that's going to clog that location because Green Goblin's going to activate, jump on over, and then Titania's going to come with him. Otherwise, that Green Goblin might get stuck. This is a risky play.
Talk about a play that is a pretty big brain play for Toast to be doing. He's getting comfortable, as we've now had an hour and 45 in. Toast is getting comfortable with the mechanics of Marvel Snap, and you're seeing it right here. Doing a risky play, and it did not pay off for Toast. You know, that is playing with fire. Love the White Widow play here. I think this is a really good play to go on the Volt. I do dig it. So he's going to go with the White Widow to that Hazmat. Double up the negative power here, and we have the Darkhawk going down. It does go up to 17 because all the different rock sliding Korg plays that we've seen, but he's able to push down a good amount of negative power.
This is such a difficult play. Yeah, he's making the correct call, I think, here by retreating.
Yeah, this is a get the heck out of Dodge play. You get out of there while you can. So we've got Dare here playing we'll call it Tob backwards. We have Cassandra Nova going into Throne Room, massive play.
Yeah, you know what? I love watching Medusa being played left. It's one of my favorite things. And at the end of the day, though, that early Cassandra Nova into Athena, he's going to own War Room. There's no question about that.
Safe to say, Dare is probably feeling pretty comfortable, especially when you have a Mysterio into Altar of Death. An absolute insane power play. Keep in mind, 11 minutes left. 11 minutes left here. And Sage, I do love that Dara is probably feeling very confident here, but he's still doing all the math. He's just making sure there's no small errors here.
Yeah, and that Star-Lord is absolutely just causing problems here. It's just so huge. It unfortunately beat out the Cassandra Nova by 1 power, allowing it to own the throne room. And Juggernaut, interesting play here. It's a very tricky board position to be in, although Athena will flip the throne room into Dara's advantage.
That Odin into Watu play. Alrighty, 200. You can feel confident. Wow, I am interested. I get it why he did it, but it's a little risky going into the altar there. But I think he was fine with the PowerPoints that he had overall. I'm a bit shocked actually that the Juggernaut play was there.
Oh, Athena didn't activate
because of the Dark Dimension and how that worked out.
Oh, I guess so. I was expecting Athena to go to 10 power and flip the throne room. I think Dara's caught by surprise too.
It's end of turn. There are some weird interactions with Dark Dimension. I've said it once, I'll say it again. It could be even he's confused. The guy plays millions of Snap games. We know the Gwenpool is going to go to Asteroid either way. Interested to see how this plays out for 20 25 million, but do like the hand and the copycat. Curious what that copycat ended up copying.
Yeah, and having the Captain Marvel can be really beneficial as well, especially with something like Warrior Falls, because she'll proc after that, which makes it so that, like, you know, cards might destroy themselves, and then she can swoop in, get the dub there. So I think that Captain Marvel is valuable here, especially with, I mean, you also have Vision. You got a lot of options here. I'm not sure what's copied as the copycat, but it is a 3/9. You're going to want to get it on the board.
Cosmo, as we see, the good dog. Is he played enough, do you think, in Snap?
No, I think he's a great card as well. And actually, what people may not realize is Cosmo represents a really good counterplay to Blob as well. Blob requires that on reveal to actually generate that power. And if you're playing a counter Airshim deck, you can play something like a Cosmo. You can put your Darkhawk behind it to protect it. And then you can play your Mystique elsewhere, which can be a huge benefit to try to take down Airshim players on the ladder.
Final turn, it's looking pretty safe for Nina. However, that Asteroid M can drag cards, make things a little complicated here. Like the Juggernaut is going to be dragged over. We know that for sure. But she just wants to push it to the left lane and then secure the win either way.
Yeah, she definitely has the Asteroid M locked down, and she just wants to be disruptive on the Hala play here. And you also have Warrior Falls, which means that things are going to get destroyed. It's a complex turn, but at the end of the day, I did like her original line here. It looks like she's going with something a little different here because she wants to destroy the 3-powered cards.
Final 5 minutes, folks, as we head into the last bit of the Conquerors events. And we have Jeff, followed by Dara, Nina, Atrix, Dex, and KM Best, all above 1.5 billion bubs, probably more than I'll ever see in the game mode. And really, it's cool to see at least 6, 7, even 3, if you condense it, competitive finish here.
And it's notable that they all started with 12 million bubs. So this is an astronomical increase of bubbage. They have managed to increase their bubs substantially since the start here. Turning 12 million bubs into 1 point or 2 point something billion is quite a feat.
The bubbage, the absolute bubbage. Now, Jeff, I'm curious if he's still playing that bounce deck, right? Because we've seen them, most creators here have stuck with the same deck from what I have seen. We haven't seen too much switch up. I know Das Mindy was doing that Magneto play, right, to finish the Magneto.
This was a huge win for Nina, too. That's 200 million bubs, which is going to get her probably over Dara, but Jeff is kind of comfortably in the lead right now, 500 million bubs.
And we have the Regis with the Darkhawk deck going into an early super flow.
I think the plan here is to allow Asteroid M to pull the Nocturne and
pull
just
it in and
gambit,
change
right?
it.
Yeah, because I was looking at that too. I'm like, hey, super flow, you don't want to do that. But it's like, oh yeah, you got Asteroid M. We've actually seen a lot of Asteroid M today, which is kind of bizarre. But I mean, yeah, Nocturne is so flexible.
Keep in mind, Nocturne only has the ability to move once, but if it moves, it changes, right? We do know that. We've seen that. One of those unique, mechanics in the game. So Jeff played Here's the Nocturne, dragged Asteroid M, changes it. Can we get something like a Lake LS? And that's going to benefit really just the Korg on the board at the given moment.
My heart is breaking for Regis. I don't know if you could hear, but he was saying this might be his last shot at big bubbage. He's going for it, I think. He's saying he needs to make something happen. He can't play conservative. He's got to win bubs, and he's got to win them off Pawnee, so he wants to go all in here and see if he can make a dent and at least catch up here. Maybe get to a billion. He's holding pretty steady at 722 million bubs at 7th place.
The final 2-minute warning here as we have Regis playing Pawnee Pawn. Jeff has a comfortable 6. Jeff's got a massive lead right now. It's actually looking very comfortable for him. Unless Dara, I have no idea, somehow smacked it out and got a lot of bubs, away. We have Vonnie Pond playing Regis on her side and her vantage point as we have the last turn of the game.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a pretty huge play with the copycat here. It looks like it hit a Mystique, so she's going to be able to copy the Darkhawk and then use the Sage to kind of finish it off there.
Now we've got the last play with the copycat. Big and Sage for the 50 million. Will it work out? The Nocturne moves. The Jeff moves. She's stunned. Strange Academy, not going to change anything of that nature. And here's the copycat.
Yeah, it should be enough. That base power is going to just elevate it.
So massive.
Yeah.
Absolute crazy. Absolute crazy. Regis falling to Pawnee Pawn. We have 1 minute left here, and we have KM Best. Gonna probably wrap things up here as we have a minute, and he's going against Dexter here. So it is a KM versus Dexter.
I really like the position that KM's in here. That Widow's Kiss and all these Mysterios. There's not a lot of space for Dexter to operate with here, but also there are still winning lines. There's still winning lines for Dexter for sure.
Time is expiring. As the time expires on the intern for this match, we're going to see this finish out. We're going to see who gets 5th or 6th, as we do want to give a massive congratulations to our winner with 3 billion here in a moment. We'll get to that. We do have KM really thinking about it here. Here's the finishing play, the final play line. It's a Nocturne followed by, wait for it, the change of location to Shang-Chi that does not activate to Demon. Okay.
It's just not enough for KM, as it is a victory here for Dexter. The unlikely win. Not a lot of space to work with, but he did ultimately pull it off for the 100 million bubs.
Oh, man. I'm excited to talk about this finish, as we've got in very first place those that voted for Jeff. He has won his first Conquerors event with the 3 billion bubs. Jeff Hoagland getting the W on the first time event here for Deadpool's Diner. It was fun. We had some crazy gameplay here and there, and I love the player v player matchups, but overall it was really fun to see these people who have not played Snap in a while come back to the event. What'd you think, Alex?
I thought it was a great event, honestly, and the idea of like Deadpool's Diner being kind of like an avenue for like, you know, this fun competitive Snap environment, I think is great, with the wagering and the way that the bombs could, like, you know, get really high, really low. There's so much stakes. I love it.
Good luck out there as always, guys. Thank you for listening to us, and happy snapping, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.